Good evening, football fans. Big Al here on this Thursday, December 11th, 2025. Welcome into my Week 15 NFL picks, both straight up and against the spread. We'll also look at tonight's injury report ahead of Thursday Night Football between the Falcons and the Buccaneers. And we'll also look at playoff clinching and elimination scenarios for the week coming up as well. So stick around for all of that. All right, like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Ring the bell and get notified every time I go live. All right, we'll get to the picks shortly, but let's do a little recap of week number 14. I finished the week 8-6 straight up, 7-7 against the spread, and 9-5 on totals or over-unders, either or. Okay, my straight-up record through 14 weeks is 133, 74, and 1. That's about 64%. ATS record is 98, 106, and 4. That's about 48%. And on over-under totals, my record for the season is 109, 95, and 4, which is around 53%. So that's how week 14 went. Now let's jump into week number 15. And we'll start as always with Thursday Night Football. It's an NFC South Division battle as the 4-9 Atlanta Falcons visit the 7-6 Tampa Bay Buccaneers. That game is going to be getting underway in just over an hour at 8:15 p.m. Eastern on Prime. The announcers for this game will be Al Michaels, Kirk Herbstreit, and Kaylee Hartung. And this game will be seen locally on WAGA Fox 5 in Atlanta and WTVT Fox 13 in Tampa, St. Pete. All right, the Falcons sit at number 23 in my Week 15 power rankings, while the Buccaneers are number 13. Current point spread is Tampa Bay -4.5, and the over-under is 44. I will have the injury report after the picks. I do have Tampa Bay winning this game 28-17. I have the game going over 44 just by a smidge, and I'm taking the Bucs -4.5. Now to Sunday, where both CBS and Fox will be airing doubleheaders. We have 8 games in the early window, starting off with the 3-10 Arizona Cardinals at the 8-5 Houston Texans. Sunday at 1 p.m. on Fox, your announcers are Chris Myers, Mark Schlereth, and Jennifer Hale. The Cardinals sit at number 26 in my Week 15 power rankings. The Texans have moved up to number 7. Current point spread is Houston -10. And the over-under is 42. I am going to take the Texans in this one, 27-13. The Cardinals have way too many injuries. I have the game finishing just under 42. And I'm taking the Texans at -10. Joey's in the house. What's poppin'? Next up, we have a revenge game from Thanksgiving as the 6-7 Baltimore Ravens visit the 4-9 Cincinnati Bengals. And yes, the Ravens are looking for revenge in this one. Sunday at 1 p.m. on CBS. Your announcers are Spiro Ditas, Adam Archuleta, and Aditi Kinkawala. Easy for me to say. All right, the Ravens, after last week's loss to the Steelers, fell to number 15 in my Week 15 power rankings. The Bengals, meanwhile, have moved to number 22. Current point spread is Baltimore -2.5. The over-under is 51.5. Personally, I think the Bengals are playing better ball than the Ravens are, so I'm going to take Cincinnati 31-24. I have the game going over 51.5. And I'm taking the Bengals at home at plus 2.5. Ah, cool. Make that money, my brother. Make that money. All right, next up, we're off to the AFC East and our game of the week. The 9-4 Buffalo Bills at the 11-2 New England Patriots. Now, a playoff spot, a playoff spot, and maybe even a division title can be locked up by the Patriots if they win this game. Sunday at 1 p.m. on CBS, your announcers are Ian Eagle, J.J. Watt, and Evan Washburn. I'll reveal all of those scenarios at the end of this video, so stay tuned. All right, the Bills sit number 4 in my Week 15 power rankings, while the Patriots remain my number 1 team. Like I said, I think it's like 5 straight weeks or something. Current point spread is a pick'em. Some areas it may have Buffalo slightly favored. The over-under is 49.5. I'm going against the grain, and I think the Patriots can lock up the East on Sunday. So I have New England winning a very tight game, 28-27. I have the game going over 49.5. And I'm taking New England as a pick'em. Up next, the 3-10 Cleveland Browns visit Soldier Field to face the 9-4 Chicago Bears. Sunday at 1 p.m. on Fox. Your announcers are Kevin Kugler, Daryl Johnston, and Allison Williams. All right. The Browns are at number 29 in my Week 15 power rankings. The Bears, after losing to the Packers last week, fell to number 11. Current point spread is Chicago minus 7.5, and the over-under is 39. I have the Bears winning this one 27-17. I have the game going over 39, and I'm taking Chicago minus 7.5. Up next, the 2-11 Las Vegas Raiders facing off with the 8-5 Philadelphia Eagles, still in front in the NFC East despite having lost their last 3 games. Sunday at 1 p.m. on Fox, your announcers are Joe Davis, Greg Olsen, and Pam Oliver. All right, the Raiders sit at the bottom of my power rankings for Week 15 at number 32. The Eagles' downward trend continues. They dropped to number 14 after losing to the Chargers on Monday night for their first loss in LA since 1977. Sorry. Okay, hopefully that helps. Current point spread is Philadelphia minus 11.5, and the over-under is 38. Now that spread is a head scratcher. Given the fact that the Eagles' offense is not good this year, I do not see them covering this massive point spread. With that, I have Philly winning outright 23-16. I have the game finishing just over 38, but I'm taking Las Vegas with the 11.5. All right, big matchup in the AFC West. It could determine if the Chiefs stay alive in the playoffs or be bumped out. It's the 9-4 Los Angeles Chargers at the 6-7 Kansas City Chiefs. Sunday at 1 p.m. on CBS with Kevin Harlan, Trent Green, and Melanie Collins. All right, the Chargers, after beating said Eagles on Monday night, move up to number 10 in my Week 15 power rankings. The Chiefs, taking a damaging loss to the Texans on Sunday night, fell to number 19. Current point spread is Kansas City minus 4.5. Over-under is 41.5. I don't think the Chiefs' run towards the playoffs will end this week. I do have them winning outright 24-19. I'm taking the over at 41.5, but I will take the LA Chargers plus 4.5. In fact, that should be Kansas City minus 4.5. But either way, it says Los Angeles plus 4.5, so I guess I'll go with that. Next up, the 3-10 New York Jets take on the 9-4 and AFC South bleeding Jacksonville Jaguars. Sunday at 1 p.m. on CBS. Your announcers are Tom McCarthy, Ross Tucker, and Tiffany Blackman. All right, the Jets are at number 27 in my Week 15 power rankings. The Jaguars are at number 12. Current point spread is Jacksonville minus 13. Over-under is 41.5. The Jags are easily going to win this game. Jacksonville takes it 30-14. I have the game going over 41.5. And I'm taking that massive 13-point spread with the Jaguars. And then rounding out the early portion of the Sunday schedule is an NFC East matchup with the 3-10 Washington Commanders, who again lost Jaden Daniels to injury, which means Marcus Mariota will be back at quarterback to face the 2-11 New York Giants. Sunday at 1 p.m. on Fox. Your announcers are Kenny Albert, Jonathan Vilma, and Megan O'Leary. All right, the Commanders are at number 26 in my Week 15 power rankings. The Giants at 31. Current point spread is New York minus 2.5. Over-under is 47.5. I'm going against convention in this one and taking the Commanders. They're good either with Daniels or Mariota under center. So at that, I have Washington winning 24-20. I have the game going under 47.5. And I'm taking Washington at plus 2.5, rather. All right, we have 5 games in the late window on Sunday. Starting off with the 7-6 Carolina Panthers, who come in this week tied with Tampa Bay atop the NFC South. They will play the first of their 2 matchups next week. But first, they're off to the Caesars Superdome to face the 3-10 New Orleans Saints. Sunday at 4:25 on Fox. Your announcers are Jason Benetti, Robert Griffin III, and Sarah Kustok. All right, the Panthers actually went down in my power rankings to number 21 despite not playing last week. The Saints are at number 28. Current point spread is Carolina minus 2.5. Over-under is 40.5. And I think this is where the Panthers will get their revenge on the Saints, who beat the Panthers in Charlotte earlier this year. I have Carolina winning 24-16. I have the game finishing just under 40.5. And I'm taking the Panthers minus 2.5 points. Big game in the NFC playoff race as the 8-5 Detroit Lions look to keep their hopes alive as they visit the 10-3 Los Angeles Rams. Sunday at 4:25 on Fox. Your announcers are Kevin Burkhardt, Tom Brady, Aaron Andrews, and Tom Rinaldi. All right, the Lions are back to number 9 in my Week 15 power rankings after putting on a masterful display last Thursday night against Dallas. The Rams sit at number 5, and this is the second, this is the second of 3 Week 15 matchups with teams both ranked in my top 10. Current point spread is LA minus 6, and the over-under is 55. My one question for the Rams is, can they stop the run and Jahmyr Gibbs? We shall see. But I do have the Rams winning this game 28-24. I have the game going under 55, although both of these teams can score, and I won't be surprised if the over hits. And I'm taking Detroit plus 6. And then the last of the 3 Week 15 matchups pitting 2 top 10 teams has the 9-3-1 Green Bay Packers visiting the 11-2 Denver Broncos. Sunday at 4:25 on CBS. Your announcers are Jim Nantz, Tony Romo, and Tracy Wolfson. All right, the Packers sit at number 6 in my Week 15 power rankings. The Broncos remain at number 2. Current point spread is Green Bay -2. Over-under is 42.5. I have the Packers taking this one in Denver, 24-17. I have the game going under 42.5, and I'm taking the Pack -2. Next up is my lock of the week, the 8-5 Indianapolis Colts, who again will be without quarterback Daniel Jones for the rest of the season after he suffered an Achilles injury last week. They got a tough one here against the 10-3 Seattle Seahawks up at Lumen Field. Sunday at 4:25 on CBS. Your announcers are Andrew Catalon, Charles Davis, Jason McCourty, and AJ Ross. All right, the Colts have fell to number 16 in my Week 15 power rankings. Oh, how the mighty have fallen. Meanwhile, the Seahawks continue to play very well. They're at number 3. Current point spread is Seattle -14, and the over-under is 42.5. I think the Seahawks can reach that over-under total by themselves, almost. I have Seattle winning this in a blowout, 38-13. I have the game going over 42.5, and I'm taking the Seahawks at -14. So without Daniel Jones, they have to bring 44-year-old Phillip Rivers out of retirement to hopefully get Indianapolis to the playoffs. We'll see if that happens. The last of the afternoon games, you have the 2-11 Tennessee Titans at the 9-4 San Francisco 49ers. Sunday at 4:25 on Fox. Your announcers are Adam Amin, Drew Brees, and Christina Pink. All right, the Titans, after beating the Browns last week, moved up to number 30 in my Week 15 power rankings, and this is the highest that the Titans have been all season. The 49ers, meanwhile, are at number 8. Current point spread is San Francisco -13, over-under is 44.5. I have the Niners winning this one big, 34-14. The game will go over 44.5. And I'm taking the Niners at -13. Next up on Sunday Night Football, it's the 5-8 Minnesota Vikings, technically still mathematically alive in the playoff race. They're off to Big D to face Dak Prescott and the 6-1 Dallas Cowboys. Sunday night at 8:20 on NBC. Your announcers are Mike Tirico, Chris Collinsworth, and Melissa Stark. All right. The Vikings, coming off that shutout victory against the Commanders, sit at number 24 in my Week 15 power rankings. The Cowboys, of course, losing a week ago tonight in Detroit, fell to number 18. Current point spread is Dallas -5.5, and the over-under was 47.5. I have the Cowboys winning this game 27-14, but don't be surprised if they put up more than 30 in this one. I have the game going under 47.5, and again, I won't be shocked if the over hits in this one either. And I'm taking the Cowboys -5.5. And then Week 15 concludes with Monday Night Football as the 6-7 Miami Dolphins take their 4-game win streak into the Steel City to face Aaron Rodgers and the 7-6 Pittsburgh Steelers. Monday night at 8:15 on ESPN, and this game will be locally televised in Miami on WFOR-TV Channel 4 and in Pittsburgh on WTAE Channel 4. Your announcers are Joe Buck, Troy Aikman, Lisa Salters, and Laura Rutledge. All right, the Dolphins, winners of 4 straight, and I think 6 of their last 7 or something, are up to number 17 in my Week 15 power rankings. The Steelers, meanwhile, despite having the lead in the AFC North, they're sitting at number 20. Current point spread is Pittsburgh -3.5, over-under is 41. I got to go with the hot hand here and take the Dolphins, 24-17. The game will push the total, and I'm taking Miami at +3.5. Okay, so those are my picks. Let's get into this Thursday night football injury report ahead of Falcons and Buccaneers. We'll start off first with the Atlanta Falcons. Wide receiver Drake London, that's a big name. He's out tonight with a knee injury. Meanwhile, defensive tackle Brandon Dorless, he has a groin injury. Defensive tackle David Onyemata has a foot. Tight end Kyle Pitts with a knee. And linebacker Jalen Walker with a quadricep are all listed as questionable. Other names on the list include linebacker Caden Ellis, who was a full participant in practice. Linebacker Leonard Floyd, who was limited. Wide receiver Kadero Hodge, full participant in practice. Offensive guard Chris Lindstrom, also a full participant. Offensive tackle Jake Matthews, limited in practice. And cornerback AJ Terrell, full participant. On the Tampa Bay side of the equation, linebacker Savaka Dennis is out tonight with a hip injury. And safety Rashad Wisdom is also out with a quadricep. Wide receiver Mike Evans is questionable with a collarbone, but he's trending towards playing tonight. Wide receiver Jalen McMillan is questionable with a neck. Meanwhile, tight end Kay Otten with a knee and safety Tyke Smith with a neck and a shoulder are both doubtful. Other names on the Buccaneer injury report include offensive guard Ben Bredesen, who did not practice this week. Wide receiver Chris Godwin, limited participation. Running back Bucky Irving, safety Christian Eisen, and quarterback Baker Mayfield, all full participants. Cornerback Benjamin Morrison, also a full participant, along with linebacker Hassan Reddick and offensive tackle Tristan Wirfs. All right, now we're going to take a look at the playoff clinching and elimination scenarios going into week number 15. All right, we'll start with the NFC playoff picture first. Your division leaders are the Rams in the number 1 spot, the Packers in the number 2 spot, the Eagles at number 3, and the Buccaneers at 4. Your 3 wildcard teams, you have the Seahawks at 5, the 49ers at 6, and the Bears at 7. Still alive in the race, you have the Lions sitting number 8, the Panthers at 9, the Cowboys at 10, and the Vikings at 11. Eliminated from the playoffs are the Falcons at number 12, Cardinals at 13, Saints at 14, Commanders at 15, and the Giants at 16. On the AFC side, your current division leaders are the Broncos in the number 1 spot, the Patriots at number 2, the Jaguars at number 3, and the Steelers at number 4. Your 3 wildcard teams are the Chargers at number 5, the Bills at number 6, and the Texans at number 7. And still alive in the playoff race in the AFC, you have the Colts at number 8, the Ravens at 9, Chiefs at 10, and the Dolphins at 11. Also, the Bengals are still mathematically alive at number 12 despite their 4-9 record. Eliminated in the AFC are the Jets, number 13, the Browns, number 14, the Raiders, number 15, and the Chiefs. Or not the Chiefs, but rather the Titans, sitting at the bottom of the AFC. All right, here are your clinching scenarios entering week 15. Only one on the NFC side, and it's pretty simple for the Los Angeles Rams. Beat the Lions on Sunday, and they will lock up at least a wild card spot. On the AFC side, The New England Patriots win the AFC title just by beating the Bills. And they can also lock up at least a wild card spot where the Patriots win over Buffalo, or a Patriots tie plus either a Texans loss or tie to the Cardinals, a Colts loss or tie to the Seahawks, a Jaguars loss to the Jets, and a Chargers loss to the Chiefs. Or the Patriots can lock up a playoff spot with a win plus a Texans loss and a Colts loss or tie, or a Patriots win plus a Texans tie or a Colts loss. Meanwhile, for the Broncos, they can lock up a spot in the playoffs by beating the Packers, which is not going to be an easy ask. They can also clinch a playoff spot with a tie or either one of the following: a Colts loss or tie, a Texans loss or tie, or losses by either the Chargers or Jaguars. Denver can also get into the playoffs with a win and a Houston loss plus an Indianapolis loss or tie, or a Houston tie plus an Indianapolis loss. All right, we got a bunch of elimination scenarios. And so far, we have only a couple of teams that could be eliminated from the playoffs. That's on the AFC side. More on that in a second. We'll start with the NFC. The Vikings will be eliminated from playoff contention with a loss. All right. The Vikings will be eliminated from playoff contention with a loss or tie to the Cowboys, or a Bears win or tie against Cleveland, or a Lions win or tie against the Rams. The Lions will be knocked out of contention for the top spot in the AFC if they lose to the Rams. The Eagles will also be knocked out of contention for the 1 seed in the NFC with a loss to the Raiders plus a Rams win and a Seahawks win or tie, or an Eagles loss plus a Rams win plus a Niners win or tie plus wins by both Green Bay and Chicago, or with a Philly loss, an LA Rams tie plus a Seattle win. They can also be eliminated from the top seed with a loss plus ties by both the Rams and Seahawks, a 49ers win or tie, and outright victories by both Green Bay and Chicago. Or an Eagles loss to the Raiders plus a Seahawks win plus a Niners win or tie, and wins by both Green Bay and Chicago. All right. Tampa Bay has 17 different ways to be eliminated from contention for the 1 seed. The simplest is losing, obviously, to the Atlanta Falcons tonight. The next 5 involves Tampa Bay tying. The Tampa Bay must tie Atlanta, and the Rams, Seahawks, 49ers, Packers, and Bears must win or tie their games. There are 4 scenarios that involve a Los Angeles Rams win. One is a Rams win and a Seahawks loss or tie. Or a Rams win plus a Niners win plus a Packer win. Or a Rams win plus a Niners win plus a Packers tie and a Chicago win. Or a Rams win plus a San Francisco tie, a Green Bay loss or tie, and a Chicago win. And there are 4 other scenarios that involve the Rams tying the Lions. The first is a Rams tie and a Seahawks win. The next are ties by both LA and Seattle, and wins by both San Francisco and Green Bay. Or a Rams tie plus a Seahawks tie plus a Niners tie, which is unlikely, plus a Packers win or tie, and a Bears win. Or a Rams tie plus a Niners win plus a Packers win or tie plus a Bears win. The last 3 that could knock Tampa Bay out of the 1 seed contention involved the Seahawks. And that's a Seahawk win plus wins by both San Francisco and Green Bay. Or wins by Seattle, San Francisco, and Chicago plus a Green Bay tie. Or wins by Seattle and Chicago, a win or tie by Green Bay, and a tie by San Francisco. And rounding out the NFC, the Carolina Panthers. They'll be knocked out of 1 seed contention with a loss to the Saints. 6 other scenarios include a Panthers tie plus a Seahawks win or tie, a Panthers tie plus a Rams win or tie, a Panthers tie plus a 49ers win or tie, a Panthers tie plus a Packers win, a Panthers tie plus a Packer tie plus a Bears tie, which is highly unlikely, or a Panthers tie with the Saints and a Bears win over the Browns. The next 4 scenarios involve the Rams. Carolina will be knocked out of 1 seed contention, easy for me to say, if the Panthers lose, plus the Rams win and the Seahawks win or tie. Or a Rams win plus a San Francisco win or tie, plus a Green Bay win and a Chicago win. They can also be knocked out with the Panthers can also be knocked out with a loss, plus a Rams tie and a Seahawks win. Or a Panthers loss plus ties by the Rams and Seahawks, a win or tie by the 49ers, and wins by both the Packers and Bears. Or the last scenario, a Panthers loss plus a Seahawks win, plus a 49er win or tie, and wins by both the Packers and Bears. Now to the AFC. Wow. We'll talk about the many ways the Kansas City Chiefs can be eliminated from playoff contention. First, we're going to talk about the easiest scenario, and that involves the Cincinnati Bengals. They will be eliminated from the AFC North title conversation and from the playoffs altogether if the Bengals lose this week to the Ravens, or a Bengals tie and a Steelers win. The Dolphins are eliminated from playoff contention with a Dolphins loss to the Steelers on Monday night, plus a Bills win or tie against the Patriots, and a Texans win or tie against the Cardinals. Or a Miami loss plus wins or ties by both Buffalo and Indianapolis. Or a Miami loss plus a Houston and Indianapolis win. Or a Dolphins tie plus outright wins by both Buffalo and Houston, and wins or ties by Jacksonville, the Chargers, and Indy. Or a Dolphins tie plus a Bills win plus a Jaguars win or tie plus a Chargers win or tie plus a Texans tie and a Colts victory. All right, Kansas City has 42 different ways they can be eliminated from playoff contention this week. So strap yourselves in. This is going to take a while. Okay, Kansas City is officially knocked out of the playoffs with a loss to the Chargers, plus wins or ties by Buffalo and Jacksonville, plus a Houston win. Or a Chiefs loss plus a Buffalo win or tie, a Jacksonville win or tie, and ties by both Houston and Indianapolis. Or a Chiefs loss plus a Bills win or tie, a Jaguars win or tie, or a Colts win. Or a Chiefs loss plus a Bills win or tie, a Texans win, and a Colts win or tie. Or a Kansas City loss plus a Buffalo win or tie, plus a Houston win, or 2.5 or more combined wins from Philadelphia, Green Bay, Carolina, San Francisco, the LA Rams, and Cincinnati. Or a Kansas City loss plus a Buffalo win or tie, plus a Houston win, a Miami loss or tie, or 1.5 or more combined wins by Philly, Green Bay, Carolina, San Francisco, or the LA Rams. Or a Chiefs loss plus a Bills win or tie, plus a Texans win, plus a Dolphins loss or tie, plus a Ravens tie and a Panthers win. Kansas City is also eliminated with a loss plus a Bills win or tie, a Texans win, a Dolphins tie, a Ravens loss, and 1 or more combined wins from Philadelphia, Green Bay, Carolina, San Francisco, or the LA Rams. Don't worry, there's like 34 more of these to go. A Kansas City loss, a Buffalo win or tie, plus a Houston tie, plus an Indianapolis tie, plus 4.5 or more combined wins from the Eagles, Packers, Panthers, 49ers, Rams, and Bengals. Or a Chiefs loss, plus a Bills win or tie, plus ties by both the Texans and Colts, plus victories by the Packers, Panthers, 49ers, Rams, Giants, and Buccaneers. Sounds confusing, right? Scenario 11, a Kansas City loss, plus a Bills win or tie, plus a Texans and plus a tie for the Texans and Colts, plus a Dolphins loss or tie, plus 3.5 or more combined wins by the Eagles, Packers, Panthers, 49ers, and Rams. Number 12, a Kansas City loss plus a Buffalo win or tie, plus a Houston tie, plus an Indianapolis tie, also a Miami loss or tie, plus a Baltimore tie, a Carolina victory, plus 2 combined wins from either the Packers, 49ers, or Rams. Number 13, they can be eliminated with a loss plus a Bills win or tie, plus a Texans tie, plus a Colts tie, plus a Dolphins loss or tie, plus a Ravens tie, plus a Panthers win, plus an Eagles tie, plus 1.5 combined wins from Green Bay, San Francisco, or LA. Number 14, a Chiefs loss, a Bills win or tie, ties by the Texans, Colts, Ravens, and Panthers, a Dolphins loss or tie, plus 2.5 combined wins from Green Bay, San Francisco, and LA. Number 15, a Kansas City loss plus a Buffalo win or tie, plus ties by Houston, Indianapolis, and Miami, a Baltimore loss plus 3 or more combined wins from Philly, Green Bay, Carolina, San Francisco, and LA. Next, number 16, a Chiefs loss plus a Bills win or tie, plus a Colts win, plus 4.5 or more combined wins from the Eagles, Packers, Panthers, 49ers, Rams, and Bengals. 17, a Chiefs loss plus a Bills win or tie, plus a Colts win, a Packers win, a Panthers win, a 49ers win, a Rams win, plus 1.5 or more combined victories from both the Giants and Buccaneers. You pretty much get the idea here. Like I said, there are 42 different ways that the Chiefs can be eliminated this week. And 33 of those scenarios involve Kansas City losing to the Chargers. The remaining 9 involves Kansas City tying the Chargers and a bunch of other things. Alright. If Buffalo loses to New England on Sunday, the Patriots win the AFC East, and the Bills cannot clinch the 1 seed in the AFC. Pittsburgh is knocked out of 1 seed contention with a loss or tie to the Dolphins, or a Broncos win or tie, or a Patriots win or tie, or a Chargers win plus a Texans loss or tie. Houston is knocked out of 1 seed contention with either a Houston loss or a Denver win or tie, or a Houston loss plus a New England win or tie, or a Houston tie plus a Denver victory. And Indianapolis will be knocked out of the 1 seed if they lose to the Seahawks, which many people are expecting to happen, plus a Broncos win or tie, or a Colts loss and a Patriots win or tie, plus a Colts loss plus a Chargers win, or a Colts tie plus a Broncos win, or a Colts tie and a Patriots win. Alright, so that was pretty lengthy, but thanks for sticking around for my Week 15 NFL picks, both straight up and against the spread. Plus, tonight's injury report ahead of the Falcons and Buccaneers, which, believe it or not, starts in 20 minutes. And all the playoff clinching and elimination scenarios entering Week 15. And that includes the 42 ways the Kansas City Chiefs can be knocked out of contention. So yeah, it's really against the Chiefs this week. Alright, my next video will be out on Tuesday as we'll look at the week that was. We'll take a look at the player and team statistical numbers for week number 15. Plus, I'll have my hot off the press week 16 power rankings and the playoff picture going into next week. So make sure you join me for that. Like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Ring the bell and get notified every time I go live. Big Al signing off. Thanks for watching and enjoy the pigskin. Peace out.